A group of pastors in Ohio a few weeks ago filed an IRS complaint against the members of Congress who live at the C Street house. The ethics watchdog crew then filed an ethics complaint against those same lawmakers. The allegation of both complaints is the same. It's that the C Street house, which is run by the secretive religious group The Family, offers its congressmen tenants rent at below market rates. The implication, of course, is that the difference between what the tenants are paying and what the landlord could reasonably demand represents a subsidy, which is a gift or a contribution, and the public should know who is donating what to our elected officials. It ought to fit the rules of what you're allowed to gift to an elected official, and frankly, those elected officials ought to be paying taxes on it as income. It has been reported, and not refuted, that a room at C Street, a room in the well-appointed luxury building plus amenities including maid service, just a short walk from the Capitol, is being charged to these members of Congress at a rate of $950 a month. That was as recent as last year. Tennessee Congressman Zach Wamp is the latest C Street resident to react with indignation to the charge that his rent at C Street is anything but totally above board. Mr. Wamp told a hometown news service called the Tennessee Report, quote, "It's a totally bogus claim. To allege we're not paying market value is simply not analyzing the market. It is the most ridiculous allegation and claim that I have seen." Simply not analyzing the market, he says. Analyzing the... How could one do that nowadays anyway? The internets. I know. Let's have a look. All right, comparing similar digs in the same neighborhood at C Street. Okay, at Craigslist, you can find a one-bedroom English basement apartment and utilities on C Street for $1,750 a month. Now, you don't have to share a bathroom like the C Street guys do, but you also don't have luxe common areas, conference space, maid service, or interns working for you as servants. Also, English basement is just a nice Craigslist-y way of saying this apartment is only partially above ground. And, for what it's worth, that's almost double the rent of what we think the C Street guys are paying. Let's look some more, Analyzing the market. There's also this one that you can live on C Street here for $1,420 a month. That's only 50% more than a room at C Street, as far as we know. Of course, there's no maid, no servants, and not only no other really nice rooms, but no other rooms at all. This is a studio. It's just one room. In all fairness, we did just one search. Our results are not comprehensive. Thankfully, Senator Sam Brownback of Kansas took the same defensive position as Congressman Wamp. He sent us his own research showing what anyone can get for the same amount of rent that he paid at C Street. And yes, you can score a room for even less than $950 a month. For example, as Senator Brownback points out, for $600 you can live in Bowie, Maryland, which is lovely. But if you work on Capitol Hill, it only seems fair to mention that this apartment is in Maryland. In Bowie, Maryland, which Google Maps says is roughly a 30-minute commute to the United States Capitol by car, as opposed to the C Street house, which is 3 blocks from the Capitol. 3 blocks. For $650, Senator Brownback also suggests you can live in a basement bedroom in Vienna, Virginia, which happens to be the last stop on that part of the metro. It's outside the Beltway in Virginia, roughly, again, about a half-hour commute by car, or the full length of the Orange Line on the metro system. The C Street house, again, just 3 blocks away from work. You could crawl there if you were drunk. According to Senator Brownback's search, for $640 a month, you can also share an apartment with a stranger in Springfield, Virginia, which is, again, outside the Beltway, a good ways from Capitol Hill. And it should also be noted for this listing that, in this case, you would have to be a, quote, older woman. So there you have it. Thank you to Congressman Wamp and Senator Brownback for directing us to the data, to the hard, cold facts about whether or not you guys have been paying market rent at the mansion, or whether you've in fact been getting an unreported and probably illegal big fat rent subsidy, we're guessing, from the family. We stand corrected. I mean, we stand correct. Nice try, gentlemen, but who's paying your rent?